what's a day in the life of somebody with Duchenne?
So my wife and I, I've already explained, it was devastating to get the news. But when they're younger, they still are functional and they still can operate on their own. They have independence. And while we adapt and we don't get to do all things normal, there's still some kind of semblance of normality. They still have some activity, and they want to get into trouble and explore and being curious. We've told some folks now that now the hard has arrived. So it's devastating and crushing to get the news, but you don't know what it's going to look like to have a son who's 17 or a son who's 14. And now we know what it looks like. And it's hard. The hard has arrived. My oldest son is not independent. He can't bathe himself. He can't dress himself. He needs help with virtually everything that he does. He can't put his shoes and socks on. So my wife and I are his hands and feet. We are his daily activities. So we have to get him up in the morning and help him get out of bed. He has a device that he uses to help him walk, and we get him in his gait trainer, and he does daily walking exercises. He has a stander that he has to get in and manually stand him up so he has pressure on his bones, because his bones don't have muscle pressure, and so they become brittle. And he's suffered a major spiral fracture to his right femur when we were on vacation whenever he was 13 years old. And it resulted in a week stay in the hospital, and eventually set him back in his functionality and mobility. So today we put him in a stander so he can remain standing, because he can't stand on his own. And quite honestly, as a parent, to know your child will not stand on planet Earth again is overwhelming. My child will not stand up again on his own. And so we put him in a stander, and then in the afternoon he has a mobility device, and we go outside and we get fresh air. And through the last year, we've been visiting our community park, and but at nighttime, again, there's helping him take a shower and put his clothes on and brush his teeth, and he can only move his arms just a minimal amount, so we have to help some with his feeding. So it is definitely a challenge, and it takes an incredible, significant amount of dedication from a parent to help and assist his kid. But again, once again, we love him, and out of love, we care for him. So it really means a lot of self-denial. There's a lot of self-sacrifice. It's not a sacrifice because you love, but there is self-denial that my wife and I have to dedicate to take care of our child. You think of care being provided, but that should be for an 80-year-old person, not a child that's 17 years old.